Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And recently we found out that the NAD is no longer going to allow T Mobile to claim that they have the most reliable 5G network. Now, overall, looking at this from an overall standpoint, the reason the NAD is saying this is because they're saying umlaut that T Mobile is using to make the claim does not have enough credibility. That's all it really is. If you really look at it, break it down, they are saying umlaut does not have the credibility for you to make that claim. They are wanting this to come from somebody more credible, like Root Metrics, which they are mentioned in this article. And once Root Metrics says that T-Mobile has the most reliable network, 5G network, then T-Mobile can make that claim. Until then, any other third party that they use to make that claim, and that third party is not of that kind of caliber credibility, they will continue to be challenged. Now, T-Mobile is appealing the NAD in a response letter saying they are disappointed that they do have the most reliable 5G network, et cetera, et cetera. So here's where that claim tends to not make sense, because that 5G network is still not 100% covering their entire footprint, for one. So there's still footprint outside of that footprint that's LTE, which is fine, but they're saying 5G, not the overall network. They're just saying 5G. And then as well, too, it's really AT&T and Verizon, well, in this case, really just AT&T, that are challenging this because they know that their footprint, their 5G footprint is not at the footprint of T-Mobile's. But overall, both Verizon and AT&T are still larger networks. Per Root Metrics, Verizon still has the most reliable network, and that's of the credibility that the NAD is looking for. So they very simply challenge this because T-Mobile is trying to change the perception. And if nobody challenges them and if nobody speaks up, T-Mobile will start really changing that perception their way. They will start using any third party that favors them in a big way. They've even recently started bringing up that, hey, even Root Metrics is saying that we have the fastest, most available network. So I think T-Mobile has to get over this very quickly. If the appeal fails and it doesn't go in their favor, they need to really push, okay, we have the most available and the fastest 5G network, because that one, everybody seems to agree across the board on a third-party basis. Even the most credible Root Metrics are saying that T-Mobile has the most available and fastest 5G network. And that's just a fact. But T-Mobile is trying to do this in their favor because they know what's coming. They know Verizon and AT&T are not stopping. They will spend 25, 26, 27 billion if they need to close that gap and exceed their footprint. Right now, what's really not in T-Mobile's favor is that they are still a smaller network. They still are today. Verizon and AT&T, if they really focus and they spend big and they upgrade those radios, they can easily exceed T-Mobile's 5G footprint, and very quickly too. Now, how that footprint performs, whatever, that remains to be seen. But to have a NR radio on air to say this is a 5G footprint, AT&T and Verizon can exceed that footprint because they have larger networks. So that could just by default naturally happen at any time. I mean, they're spending big money. T-Mobile is really, chasing that lead with them knowing that AT&T and Verizon are on their heels. And it's happening at a very quick pace. I'm telling you guys right now, I see internal documents. I speak to people. Verizon and AT&T are going to close that gap quick. And if T-Mobile is not careful, they're going to exceed that footprint. And that's when it's going to become a problem. See, early on in LTE, Verizon had the leadership not because of speed and availability. They just had the largest footprint. They had the largest network across the United States on LTE. And that's something that AT&T and AT&T and T-Mobile are still trying to match to this day. So that's a leadership that nobody could take from Verizon throughout that whole decade. Yeah, in the urban core, AT&T and T-Mobile have matched performance, footprint, maybe even exceeded it. But on a nationwide scale, if you check the crowdsourced, you cross-reference, Verizon maintained their leadership on the biggest footprint in the United States that nobody has matched toe-to-toe yet to this day. And T-Mobile claims leadership on a network that's smaller. So it's good to get out ahead for T-Mobile because they're trying to close that perception gap. But as I mentioned, if Verizon gets really grimy, which they're going to get, they're going to spend whatever it takes, they can easily say, okay, as of today, we exceeded T-Mobile's footprint. We now cover 2.7 million square miles with our 5G network. And T-Mobile is not anywhere close to that amount of square miles covered. Not even close. They're not even, like I said before, they are 2 times the size of the entire state of Texas behind AT&T and Verizon on overall network size. So again, the NAD is not liking it. They want T-Mobile to stop continuing the claims. T-Mobile is appealing. So I'll let you know what the outcome is. But, Umlaut really is not anything like super credible. So we have to wait until Root Metrics crowns them the most reliable. And I don't know if that'll happen because even now with them having 200 pops of mid-band and 308 million with that low-band 5G, Verizon is still whooping their butts on reliability on Root Metrics. So leave all your comments in the comment section down below. Look forward to reading them. Make sure you guys are liking, sharing, subscribing, following the social media platforms for more updates and interactions. Thanks again for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace.